Hey everybody, it's Kaladesh and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing another premiere draft of Kaladesh Remastered. Without further ado, let's get into the draft. We've got an incredible pack 1 here, with several incredible uncommons and some premium commons as well. I think Aether Sweeper is an excellent 2-drop for any blue deck. Dawn Feather Eagle's a fantastic finisher in every white deck, but these uncommons are just next level. Aerial Responder, a 3-mana 2/3 Flying Vigilance Lifelink, has an incredible stack of keywords to get in for a bunch of damage and be nearly impossible to race all game. The Ridge Scale Tusker is massive for its mana cost, a 5-mana 5/5 that puts a counter on all your creatures when it hits the board. So even if you just have 2 other creatures on board, it's 7 power and toughness worth of stats for 5 mana. Rogue Refiner is a fantastic value play, a 3-mana 3/2 that draws you a card and gives you 2 energy, but that one is multicolored, so it locks you into a more specific deck than the other two. I'm going to start with the Ridge Scale Tusker. I'm just going to take what I consider to be the strongest of the mono-colored uncommons there, as they are a little more flexible than the Rogue Refiner, but I think both of those uncommons are absolutely absurd cards. For pack 1, pick 2 now. Got another Aether Swooper out of blue. We've got a Blossoming Defense, which is a really nice combat trick in green because we can use it as a combat trick to win a fight, or we can use it as a hexproof spell to counter a removal spell. So Blossoming Defense plays really well. Maulfist Revolutionary is super solid. Since we do have a Ridge Scale Tusker, we are already potentially producing some +1/+1 counters that we can add to with this Revolutionary, but any energy tokens as well we'd be able to add to with the Revolutionary. Yeah, I think these green spells are pretty much just as strong as the blue spells of Aether Swooper and Glintnest Crane. So we can stick to green here. I'm going to go for the Revolutionary. I like the idea of curving out Revolutionary into Tusker. Just beefy stuff. For pack 1, pick 3 now. There are no green follow-ups. There's an Inventor's Goggles, which can fit into a variety of decks, because a lot of the best creatures in the format are Artificers at common. There are even a couple Artificers in green, the main one being the 4-mana 3/3 Trample that makes a servo. That one works great with the goggles. So we could take that here as one of the more open cards. We could also just take the strongest card, but it's a blue-white gold card, so it's pretty narrow. Could take Unbridled Growth for mediocre fixing. There's nothing great off-color. I think Night Market Lookout's probably the strongest off-color, mono-colored card in the pack, but it's kind of narrow where it works really well with vehicles, and that's where you jam it. I'll take the goggles here, but I'm not super excited about that pack. After our mono-green start for now, I am pretty excited about a Pima Outrider. This is one of green's best creatures, just for the efficiency at the mana value. 4-mana 4/4 Trample, or a 4-mana 3/3 that comes with a servo. Depending on what kind of deck you're making. If you're making a +1/+1 counter deck, then you buff it up with a counter, and if you're making a go-wide kind of green-white deck, then you make your board wider with the servo. So I like Pima Outrider a lot for this deck. It looks like we are definitely a +1/+1 counter kind of deck, though. Although Pima Outrider making the servo into the Tusker to put a counter on the servo and the Outrider is probably a little better than putting the counter on the Outrider itself. Anyways, easy Pima Outrider. The only competition is a Voltaic Brawler, but that would lock us into a secondary color, so I'm going to stick to our mono-green good stuff here. Pick 5, that's a late Pacification Array. I think this card is great for literally any deck. Super flexible card. I do like the idea of taking another Pima Outrider, because having a good stack of these at 4 mana before the Tusker would be good. And we are already locked into green, so either way, we're taking a card that's going to make the cut no matter what. And taking the green card cuts more people on the left off green, potentially. I still feel like it's got to be Pacification Array, though, right? This card is really nice. It's a more expensive version of Ice Manipulator. You have to spend 2 mana to tap something every turn, but it's still really good. Alright, pack 1, pick 6. There's a Thriving Rhino in here, or we could go off color for an Imperial Voyager, which gives us treasure tokens as we hit our opponent, or Chandra's Pyrohelix, which is just great removal. I'm going to take the Thriving Rhino. It's another excellent card for an energy counter and +1/+1 counter deck. We are doing both of those things a little bit. Let's grab that Rhino. Pick 7, best card by far is the red-white gold card, but we're very far away from that color pair, sadly. There's nothing here that combos well with a green deck. Negotiation can be good in a deck that has a bunch of 1/1 servos. I guess we have like one off of a Pima Outrider. It's the highest potential upside card, but it's really unlikely to be where our deck is going. Pick 8 now, Glint Sleeve Artisan. 3 mana 2/2 with Fabricate 1 to give itself a counter or give you a servo. Solid flexible card. I could see going into green-white, go wide, with some of those eagles at the top of the curve. We could also go into blue-green energy with Thriving Turtles at the start of the curve. So Turtle or Artisan it is. Let's speculate a little here. Let's take the Turtle, and if the Rogue Refiner comes back, I will slam dunk that. Not even mentioning Hunt the Weak, because it is a fight spell, so it's narrow and it's a lot of mana at sorcery speed. I think there's just too many ways that it can get interacted with to where it ends up playing super poorly for you. Alright, Rogue Refiner did get taken, so green-blue might not be the best direction, because somebody's probably trying to go there, but the best card in this pack is blue again, just a solid little flyer. Pick 10, now the best card is blue again. Shipwreck Moray just gives you a lot of energy for that mana cost, which is helpful in those energy decks. I like it better than the Sage of Shyla's Claim. So we're going to be fighting somebody else for blue-green energy, but it looks like they're passing plenty of good energy cards anyway, so probably just one other person trying to draft this archetype. This is a really nice start to a deck. I like this one a lot. Alright, pack 2, pick 1. Kind of a dud of a pack. The best cards are like Prophetic Prism or Revoke Privileges, and neither of those are particularly high picks for me. At this point, just because I'm pretty locked into green-blue, I don't think we need to do much splashing. I'll still take the Prism, I guess. But yeah, Fatal Push and Revoke Privileges are both fine, mediocre removal. But they're both off color. Key to the City is pretty narrow. It's only good really late in the game when you're trying to get that extra damage in, and then you need to be keeping the mana up to get your cards back out of it. Otherwise, discarding a card for unblockability is really bad. You're just straight up down a card every time you use it. So you have to tax yourself 2 mana every time it untaps. But then it's like you're looting and getting unblockable stuff in. I just feel like the card's always been too narrow for me. I'm never impressed by it. I've tried it many times, many years ago, and just I've had too many bad experiences with it. Pack 2, pick 2. This is a very weak pack. There is one card I like, and that is Unlicensed Disintegration, and that's basically impossible to play here, so we take Ballista Charger. But, I don't know, the only way I'd be happy here is if I were drafting black-red. Every other color, I'd probably be like, well, this pack kind of sucks. Take something super filler like a Narnum Cobra or a Tezzeret's Ambition, or a Fen Hauler. Yeah, super filler pack. We'll just take the beefy Ballista Charger. Pack 2, pick 3. There's another Thriving Rhino here. There's also a Self-Assembler, which is really good if you get duplicates. I draft this card super, super highly in pack 1, but the later you get in the draft, the less likely you are to be able to find duplicates. So I think it's late enough in the draft, pick 3 of pack 2, that I would take another Thriving Rhino over it, but I would still take it over everything else in this pack, except maybe Pyrohelix if I were already in red. I just think that Thriving Rhino is a great comb, and it attacks as a 3-mana 3/4 the first time it attacks, and then it maintains that power throughout the game because it is a permanent +1/+1 counter. Pack 2, pick 4, Metallic Rebuke plays perfectly fine as a mana leak little counter spell. Pretty easy to cast on your mana, just a single blue and 2 more. We could also take Renegade Map for more fixing. Maybe Shielded Aether Thief's okay for an energy deck. Flash this thing in, get a block off of it, get an energy at the ready. Maybe Aether Thief over Rebuke here. It's one of these two. Pack 2, pick number 5 is nothing on color. We could take another Inventor's Goggles, but I think we only have one Artificer right now. Yeah, we still only have one Artificer. Just moving it around for the +1/+2 is fine. It's only like really good with the Artificers. Could splash in a Furious Reprisal, but it's kind of narrow. There's particular matchups where it's going to be great, you're going to kill two things, but there's also matchups where it's going to suck. When you're playing against green decks, everything's just going to be too beefy for this to line up well. I guess I will just take another goggles. Pick number 6, more goggles. More. There's a really slow value play. Nimble Innovator is the card that has proven to us what is too much mana for your 2-for-1 2/2 that draws a card in 4 mana. 4 mana turns out to be the breaking point because a 3 mana 2/2 that draws your card when it hits the board, pretty great. 4 mana 2/2 that draws your card when it hits the board just has felt a little too slow. So take a Renegade map for Splash, Inventor's Goggles, or an Innovator. I don't think any of those make the cut. I'll take this Fabrication model because it's cute. But I feel like we probably should also cut this thing because it's very narrow and dirtily. Pack 2, pick 7, some mediocre blue removal with Malfunction, or a mediocre green creature with Narnum Cobra, or a narrow green removal spell with Appetite for the Unnatural. I do not like any of these cards. I'll just take the Malfunction, I guess. I'm not going to splash in the red-green card, just a 4 mana 4/4 basically. Now we take a High Spire Artisan. Very filler. Now there's a very filler Nimble Innovator. Some nonsense for the sideboard. Pick 11 Self-Assembler? There's no way that's right. I guess if we find another Self-Assembler, we've got a miniature Self-Assembler squad then. Okay, pack 3. We only need a few more playables, but we've got a lot of kind of weak filler in here we'd like to swap out. Got a Prophetic Prism to try to splash a PNLR in. Just a 2/2 and a 1/1 flyer, and then you can Fire Breathe that 1/1. It's not that insane. She's like really good on curve in an aggressive deck, but she doesn't seem like an incredibly powerful card to splash in. Like, just a Thriving Rhino on curve is probably just as good as playing a PNLR on, like, turn 6 or 7. Yeah, I'm just going to take another Thriving Rhino. I think the card's great on curve. Rishkar's Expertise is a fun card. We need a beefy creature on board, but if we have one, we're going to draw way too many cards and cast one of them for free. It's going to be completely game-changing as long as you've got beef on your board when you cast it. Pack 3, pick number 3. Pretty hard to splash in a double red card like Skyship Stalker, but that is the strongest card in the pack by a lot. We don't have a lot of great removal, so we can take narrow removal like Monstrous Onslaught, I suppose. Gotta have some beefy creatures on the board, but if we have the beefy creatures, this could wipe out multiple creatures of our opponents. We can also splash in the Thopterus. This is a much easier splash. It only needs 1 red mana. It doesn't need it till turn 5 or later. It's got a great Enter the Battlefield effect. Monstrous Onslaught or Maverick Thopterist, I think, are the good picks here. I'm going to take that Onslaught. I'm going to get more interaction. And now pack 3, pick 4. I will splash in a Quicksmith Rebel. We need another artifact on the board to play this, but if we have another artifact on board, we turn it into a machine gun that gets to tap every turn to deal 2 to any target. So we can finish our opponent off with that over time, or we can just keep clearing out their smaller creatures. Quicksmith Rebel's really good. I'm surprised it's that late, but I guess red is just not getting drafted here from this direction. Pack 3, pick 5. Nature's Way for more interaction, and Glimmer of Genius for excellent card draw. We're a pretty slow deck here. We're not really going to start things till turn 3. It's awkward. Leave in the Dust is also solid interaction. Slow our opponent down and draw a card while we do it. I think I like Glimmer, Nature's Way, or Leave in the Dust. Cobra's also fine if we really want a 2-drop. I'm going to take Glimmer of Genius. I like the idea of digging for our bomb rare for that Quicksmith Rebel. Now we've got another Thriving Turtle, so we've got something to do early. Or another Glimmer. I'm just going to take another Glimmer. All the card draw, all the digging. Now another High Spire Artisan for a chunky card to help stabilize. Also maybe select for inspection. Maybe we're slow enough that just bounce a creature scry one is what we're doing the first couple turns. Yeah, I could very much see cutting this artisan, so I'll take the select for inspection, maybe as a cheap piece of interaction. I guess Fireforger's Puzzle Knot also works as cheap interaction. It gives us another artifact on board for the Rebel. Pack 3, pick 9. Solid little combat trick, solid little energy producer. I'll take the Minister of Inquiries. Gives us another 1 or 2 drop creature while feeding us some energy, or more accurately, feeding our rhinos some energy. Pick number 10. Big card draw or early bounce? I've got double glimmer. Let's take another early bounce spell. Another Shipwreck Moray. We probably are a double select deck. I don't think we're running any goggles in this one. I don't love the malfunctions either. The fabrication module. Probably the ballista charger. We might even be a consulate skygate deck. Probably shouldn't be. But who knows? Okay, so this deck is an absolute dirtle fest. We just sit on our butt twiddling our thumbs till turn 3 onward, but then we're hoping to make some really beefy rhinos, some other random green creatures. With a beefy green creature on board, the expertise could be insane. Somehow we got a pick 11 self-assembler and then never saw one again, which is incredibly surprising if people were going to pass it that late. Probably just means another one was just not opened. So that's wild. That means we got the self-assembler. Cut probably the Skygate and an Artisan here as our dirtliest creatures in the deck. And the Nimble Innovator's also kind of dirtily. Love this Ballista Charger. Our creature count's not horrible for it. It is big. Yeah, I think I'm just going to cut these 3 and call it a weird, grindy, dirtly deck here. Here's a look at our final deck list for today. This is a pretty slow and dirtly one where we're just trying to sit behind some high toughness creatures in the very early game, maybe bounce some aggressive creatures from our opponents with select for inspection, lock them down with some pacification arrays, but we've got some beefy green creatures when we get higher on the curve, with thriving rhinos constantly buffing themselves, Pima Outrider being a juicy 4/4 trample, and the Ridge Scale Tusker to buff the entire board. And then once we have some beef on board, we can use cards like Monstrous Onslaught and Rishkar's Expertise to get really far ahead. With the Onslaught, we wipe a bunch of the board. With the Rishkar's Expertise, we draw a ton of cards. That's kind of the game plan here, dirtle around a little and then play some beef. But we've also got a nice little red splash for Quicksmith Rebel that can turn any of these random artifacts into a machine gun, clearing out whatever we need with 2 damage every single turn. So, nice, pretty interesting deck today. Without further ado, let's head into the gameplay and see how it does. Here we are for game 1. We got to draw 1 forest pretty desperately, but we're on the draw with 8 in the deck, I think. I've got a Puzzle Knot if they play a 1 toughness card. I'm going to gamble on this one. Any land means we have 2 spells we can cast. And a forest gets us pretty much all the way. Mountain does mean that the Puzzle Knot gets to double up and use both of its abilities. But we are certainly looking for that forest. Because we've drawn a 3rd thriving rhino now. Foundry Inspector makes all their artifact spells cost 1 less. Metallic Mimic, that is the perfect target for my Fireforger's Puzzle Knot. Metallic Mimic on insects. Yep, here comes a Pillar Bug, alright. Get that counter on the Pillar Bug. Pretty solid. Every card our opponent has played so far has been an artifact, so the Drake can't do any blocking. We did draw into the green source for the Rhino, which means we get a nice mana-efficient turn here of slamming down a Rhino and bouncing something with select for inspection on their next attack. With multiple more rhinos in the hand to slam down, I wouldn't be opposed to trading this one into the Foundry Inspector to buy us more time. But the more creatures we keep on our board, the better our Ridge Scale Tusker is going to be when we find our second green source. Another Pillar Bug. And a Gear Seeker Serpent. Oh boy. Okay, well I don't have time to try to maximize the Ridge Scale Tusker. We have to trade into this Inspector. Bounce this Pillar Bug. Do hit a 5th land. I think that's good enough because I get to play Rhino plus Puzzle Knot. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I have to keep it. Drake can chump block the Gear Seeker Serpent, but that's all. I don't think we're going to be chump blocking Serpent next turn. Pretty chunky damage here. And they get to gain some life as well. Oh no. Fortuitous Find for the 2-for-1 graveyard recursion value. Oh, they didn't recast Mimic? They had the 2 mana up. Weird. Well, I guess we have the Puzzle Knot on board. Well, there's the next green source for Tusker, which is all I got here to get a big enough board state to try to block the Serpent, but they can just keep giving it unblockable. They just give it unblockable 2 turns in a row and we die. So I think we're pretty dead here. I don't think I have time to find another piece of interaction. We need our Monstrous Onslaught or our second select for inspection. And I'd actually need to have the mana to cast the Onslaught and sack the Puzzle Knot, because we don't have a 6-power creature on board to kill the Serpent. Okay. We take those. Actually, we even just trade a 3-4 into that. That was an excellent turn of events for us, being able to kill the unblockable creature. I guess our Hinterland Drake can't block anybody, so it's kind of awkward. Is it 3 mana to sack this? Dang. No Shipwreck Moray then. Even though that'd be the best blocker we can play this turn. Think I gotta shoot the Mimic down while they're tapped out. Okay. I feel like we still have a chance then, since we got to... I should have attacked with Drake, since it can't block any of these. I think we still have a chance then, since we actually got to kill the giant 5/5. Yep. Prophetic Prism, what do you find us? Ooh, that's a good one. 5 damage, so I can do 1 damage to Bruiser and 4 to a Pillar Bug. I am not going to attack with Hinterland Drake because now it helps me double block the Menace card. Ooh, a Death Touch Lifelinker? Now I kind of feel like I have to kill that with Onslaught. Okay, so 5 damage divided wherever we want. I can kill a 3/4 and a 3/1. Or I can kill the 2/3 Death Touch Lifelink and the 3/1, or the 2/3 Death Touch Lifelink and the 3/2. I think I just kill these two. Now we get to send the Drake in every turn. They should be at 16 already. But I forgot the attack earlier. I might have forgotten 2 attacks at this point, honestly. But I didn't want to attack last turn since it actually could block. Another Shipwreck Moray. I don't even really have any good attacks with anything else on board anyway, though. I'm kind of like, well, that's enough blockers now. I could send somebody in, but it's like nobody attacks in profitably. They block a 5/5 with 2 3/4 lifelinks. They gain 6 and trade a 3/4 into a 5/5. And the other creatures are just even smaller. Daredevil Dragster. That can crew for 2, turns into a 4/4, and after it attacks or blocks twice, they can sack it to draw 2 cards. Pretty solid, pretty fun card. The thing I like about it is it's a colorless card you can take early in the draft, fit it into your deck no matter what. That is a draw and a half. That is so good here. Implement of Malice. That makes me discard a card and they draw a card, but I'm already empty-handed, so it's just going to draw them a card. Glint Sleeve Siphoner. That's an excellent draw. They do need a second energy before it does anything, but once they have a second energy, it gets to draw them extra cards. I mean, I'm still just hitting for 3 a turn in the sky, I think. And we just keep playing our lands every turn with this deck because we have multiple card draw spells we could hit. And we could find ourselves in a position where we have 2 lands in hand that we want to play, but we could still only do 1 per turn. So if I sandbag a land and skip a land drop, that could actually be hurtful later. Because they have a vehicle on board, I don't think I just actively pacification array till their end step, really. Because if I pacification array when they move to combat and they really want to attack, they can just crew the Dragster in response and send that in anyway. Alright, sick draw is sick. Let's draw 5. You've got some haymakers in here. Well, these are not the 5 cards you want to draw. Guess I might as well cast that for free. I've got 14 energy, so that's not the worst draw. Come to think of it, this is like a draw 4 as well. Hold up. Shielded Aether Thief. Shielded Aether Thief's got a point here. Aether Poisoner doesn't help them at all in the sky. Go to combat. Still got 6 power of lifelink over there, so they're not quite dead yet. I could tap 2 of their blockers, tap 1 in the end step, tap 1 during our first main phase, so I'm still not going to tap pre-combat. If they attack anybody in, that's more stuff I get to tap down. Yeah, this looks good to me. Go ahead and gain your life, but I'll kill a pillar bug. Get an energy, take no damage. This is crew 2. So they will be able to crew it when I go for the tap on Siphoner, so they'll have 2 blockers up against this board, so I don't think we kill them on the crackback when they're at 10. You know what, with double Moray we actually probably do, right? Because we do this and they've got 2 blockers. I guess they have 2 blockers whether or not we even use the pacification array, so maybe I should just not use it. They block the 2 mores and they take 1, 2, 3 well over lethal. If they don't block the mores, each more hits them for 4. So yeah, they're super extra mega dead. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 7. There's the concession from our opponent. That was a super lucky game there. I think things were definitely stacking up against us there. I think our opponent just got that ball rolling with a great start, and we had a slower start of our own, but the fact that we did manage to kill the Gear Seeker Serpent was completely what won us that game. If they hadn't attacked with the Gear Seeker Serpent until they were holding the mana up to give it unblockable, then we probably would have just died. It took us quite a while before we found anything that could have come close to dealing with that, so really happy we got to get that Gear Seeker Serpent off the board and draw pretty well from there. So we are 1-0 heading into game number 2 with an excellent start. This is all the energy in the world. I could just be on the Minister of Inquiry's game plan. I guess we don't have a blue source. If we had a blue source, it would be an excellent start. It's still got our turn 3 Thriving Rhino no matter what. I'm going to be greedy and keep. Because we still start the game on turn 3 with a great play, and we just draw like an absolute champion. Don't think we're going to be on the mill game plan. Yeah, no, we're going to put all our counters onto the Thriving Rhino, so let's play the turtle first. I think we're bashing rather than milling here, and using the Minister for more energy for more counters. Alright, 1-4 turtles, good against a 2-1 first striker, so we can just hold the turtle up on blocks after this turn, and it'll help us quite a bit. Boros from our opponent, some red-white vehicle aggro. The Infiltrator is great in that archetype, because they can keep tapping it to their vehicles, getting damage in that way. Thanks to Minister of Inquiries giving us 2 energy here, I can go ahead and attack with the turtle, use some energy on that, and still have energy for the Rhino. And I've got Glimmer for more energy. We've just got energy everywhere. Definitely looking for an artifact for this Rebel. If we find one, Rebel's going to be excellent in this matchup. It's going to kill at least one of their creatures, even if they kill the Rebel before we get another turn with it. Iron Tread Crusher. That is a large vehicle. So we want to try to kill all their creatures, so it's hard for them to crew that. But that's beef right now. It's terrifying. Okay, no artifacts on the board for the Quicksmith Rebel, so we have to be on Glimmer of Genius, which means we don't get any attacks in here, because we would just attack into a 6/6 and they'd eat our creature. We also don't really have blocks against the 6/6, so we are under some pressure. We do have counterattacks if they tap out for the Crusher. But they have 5 mana up to play more creatures, so who even knows? Oh, they're going to double tap to give it first strike? That is fine. I was not even planning on blocking. Now I'm definitely not blocking because that first strike. Let's see what else they got here. Aviary Mechanic. Pick up the Gear Shift Ace. Ooh, that's cute. Pick up the Gear Shift Ace to replay it and have it up on blocks. I guess pick up the Infiltrator's better? No. Okay, never mind. They are holding that mana up for interaction. Ooh. Select for inspection is going to be really good on the Iron Tread Crusher. We are definitely keeping that. Because they have to dump a bunch into crewing that, and then we're just like, nah. Get that off the board. All right, no artifacts for the Rebel still, but we can play Drake and Inspection. So we're going to Inspection basically their only attacker. I don't even really think I need to hold any other blockers up here. But we hold up the Minister at least. Because the Minister can't attack into a 2-2. Anyway. Scrapper Champion, phenomenal card. One of the best standalone threats in the format, a 3/3 double striker as soon as it attacks once. If they've got any other energy, it can be even worse. Alright, first strike up the Crusher. Send that in, send the Infiltrator in. I think we are buying time here to the point of trading the Drake with the Infiltrator. Scry to an artifact, please. We do get to ditch another land thanks to the Scry. Well, that could find an artifact, potentially. Don't have enough energy to buff any of these, so it's just a draw 3, but we still do it. Shipwreck Moray looks pretty great here. An 0/5 blocker that lets me buff both of my thriving cards. On the attack this turn. This is quite a race we have going here. This is going to be an exciting game. It's anyone's game. With this back and forth. They're down to 3. That makes me concerned that they are planning on lethaling me here. Somehow get my blockers off the board so the Scrapper Champion's guaranteed to get in. What is this? I don't think there's a trample trick in this format. There's +3/+3 trample to an artifact creature. I think we can just trump this though, right? Yeah. So we're fine for now. So they're just going to use the Crusher on blocks, probably? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. Crusher's going to be a 6/6 blocker, so we don't have any attacks. We got to play our Rhino. I guess in order to hold up, to crew the Crusher, they have to tap both of these, and then they only have one blocker against 3 attackers that are all lethal. They're actually just dead if they don't have an instant alongside their crewing here. We declined these so that we have the energy to buff the Moray. So we're threatening 3 4-power attackers. They have to have instant speed removal, or they just die. Alright, Moray, come on. Do your thing. Shipwreck Moray does its thing, and we are 2-0 heading into game number 3 with the super weird deck. I'll take it. All right, here we are on the play yet again for game 3. Actually don't remember whether we were on the play or the draw for any of these other games. I'm assuming we were on the play at least once. I'm going to keep this hand. We need to draw a land, but any basic is a fantastic draw, getting us to the Hinterland Drake. And if we get a forest, we're at the Thriving Rhino, which is even better. So Minister of Inquiries, mainly just in here to get 2 energy and block servos. Does not block 1/2 death touches, that's for sure. So we're taking some random death touch damage. Luckily it doesn't have death touch to players. We don't die if we take damage from it. Okay, select for inspection could help us find the green source. It's a lot less mana efficient than dropping the 2/3 right now. And the 2/3 holds off their 2/2. Okay. Quicksmith Rebel has been awkward in some of these games. Sending Drake in. Let's just hold. Play it nice and chill. Alright, well. There's a 6/6 blocker, so that's... Well, it's not going to stop their attack because they're attacking with a Death Toucher, but it is scary. Could turn the Ballista Charger into a machine gun. Just keep tapping it every turn to kill some of their creatures. With my Quicksmith Rebel. Oh, you know what's really cool? I can play the Quicksmith Rebel on Ballista Charger so it can ping things, and then if they ever try to kill Quicksmith Rebel, I can crew the Charger with it so that it's tapped and then bounce it to my hand with Select for Inspection. Well, can't do anything about that. Guess I get the 6/6 blocker up so the Renegade doesn't come in. Surprised the Narnum Renegade didn't come in, at least. So there's the green source for Thriving Rhino, but I'm having a little bout of fancy play syndrome here, and I want to do the Quicksmith Rebel Select for Inspection thing. Kill the Renegade while they're tapped out. And I've got my backup plan to pick up the Rebel and recast it. Scry that to the bottom, and we get to keep the Quicksmith Rebel around. Take 3 damage this turn, though. And they drop a Pima Outrider. Probably make that a 4/4 because they know I can just shoot the servo by crewing the Charger or by making it a machine gun with the Rebel. Okay, so they have nothing on the board that's actually good to shoot with the Rebel now, so... Probably better to play the Moray as a really nice blocker on this board. Then recast the Rebel immediately. Glint Sleeve Artisan, probably again as a 3/3 to keep it out of Rebel range. But yeah, just a 6/6 on blocks means we are already locking things down. I've got another option to use Quicksmith Rebel on with a Pacification Array. Got exactly enough mana to play that and the Thriving Rhino. Probably try to get into a position where we can attack with Thriving Rhino multiple turns in a row. We've got 4 potential +1/+1 counters. Make that thing a 6-power creature. Take over the board with that. Ew, Fragmentize. That's very rude. Tap the biggest creature, I guess. Are they planning on combat tricking Ballista Charger out of this game? I guess. Sure, I think we let them do that. It's not like the Rebel's gonna do much, since all their stuff's like 3/3s and better. Sky Whaler shot? Yeah, that would have happened at any point. That's fine. Another Thriving Rhino. Alright, we thriving. That's for sure. Now we've got a 3/4 against all their 3/3s. That is a great start. It's 8 times 3. What, we can mill 24 cards? Snap, maybe we should get on the mill plan. I'm at 11 though. I don't feel like I can just not block here. Oh, wow. Yeah, we are not outracing them with mill if they've got a Master Trinketeer. They make a 2/2 for 4 mana. So they make a 2/2 this turn. If they top deck a land, they make 2 2/2s every turn. Okay, I need to hit an artifact for this Quicksmith Rebel. And I need to hit it yesterday. Our Trinketeer wins our opponent the game by a lot. Well, hey, Lance. Yeah, we don't have time to mill them out. I don't think I have a high enough life total to even attack here at this point. They're cracking back with a 3/3, a 4/4, a 3/2, and a 2/2 if they want. I think we're getting Trinketeered. I think that is the death sentence. That's definitely something. Would it be worth it to spend 2 energy to draw 4 instead of 3? Probably. Then we'd only have 7 energy for milling them, but 7 energy is still enough to mill 21 cards, 7 times 3. Well, probably just have the Trinketeer ability here. I guess I won't have the mana for Rebel, however I spend this anyway, so I guess we do spend the red. There's the Puzzle Knot to go with the Rebel. Tusker to get good blocks set up. We play Tusker now, and next turn we play Puzzle Knot Quicksmith Rebel. Or I guess I can cast the Puzzle Knot this turn. And that leaves me with the mana up. That leaves me with the mana up to cast Rebel and Revolutionary. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. I guess 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I do have the mana to do all 3. Next turn. If I want to not reveal Puzzle Knot. And then Puzzle Knot actually gets to kill a servo, because if we kill Trinketeer, then the servos are 1/1s. Yeah, so we wait. We don't actually play Puzzle Knot right now. That way next turn, I play Puzzle Knot and shoot a servo, then I play the Rebel and make the Puzzle Knot shoot the Trinketeer, and then the Trinketeer and the servo die, because the servo no longer gets +1/+1. Oath of a... Oh, god dang it. I can still kill the Trinketeer now, but we only kill 1 creature with Puzzle Knot plus Rebel. But then the Puzzle Knot gets to start clearing out the rest of the servos. And it ruins what my current plans were, but doesn't just insta-kill me or anything. Safer to hold up select for inspection, so I will do that for now. They're down to 16 cards. We've got enough to mill them 18. We need to survive 5 more turns to mill them out. Actually, just 4 more turns, because they'll draw 4 cards in those 4 turns, so we only need to mill 12 cards, and we'll do that within 4 turns. Do this, I think, before they draw another card. Maybe he's supposed to just be attacking with the Moray now. Probably not. It still just trades into Outrider. And if I send in a 5/6, it still just trades into 1 creature because they double block. No, mill plan seems like a perfectly reasonable route to take here. Narnum Cobra. And a Countless Gears Renegade. Pass turn and we mill again. Down to 9 cards. Shoot the 2/2. Maybe better to shoot the Death Toucher. She probably was. I can trade the 3/3 for it and get another +1/+1 counter out of it, which is cute. They're down to 8 cards left. Send the whole team, and we've got the select for inspection against whatever trick this is going to be. Do this. That looks good. Oh. I'm still alive. And I think still winning on this board. Eight cards left. I think I bounced the Cobra. And then say, okay. Five cards left. Basically got 1 turn to kill us. Four cards left. Yep, we mill 3 now. We mill after we untap. No library for our opponent. Last turn. And that is the mill victory in, what is this, game number 3? It's been a long game, so I lost track. This has been a wild run. This has been a super weird one, but just dirtling around. Select for inspections have actually been working for us. And all this energy nonsense. Yeah, 3-0 start for this deck. Deck felt pretty mediocre for me because the early game is quite weak, but we're really getting to the late game, and the card draw, like Glimmer of Genius style cards, have been fantastic. The Rishkar's expertise, an absolute haymaker every time. Okay, we'll take it. It's at least going to be an average run here, at least a 50-50, but we'll see how far we can take it heading into game 4. Here we are for game number 4, this Prophetic Prism going a long way towards making us want to keep this hand. If they blow it up with a Fragmentize, it's GG, we're out of here. There's a Kujar Seed Sculptor for the first creature from our opponent. 2 mana, 2/3 on curve. Alright, Prophetic Prism, please draw us land number 3, because we have missed on the first 2 draws. We've missed on the first 3, that's not good. Can we have 1 land in the top 4 cards of our library? Now is the deciding turn. Arena says yes. We find it just in time, right on turn 3. Can be mana efficient with a thriving Rhino, or we can go for the Shielded Aether Thief Surprise Block. I think I'm going to go for the Shielded Aether Thief Surprise Block. I think the way that these games have been playing out is that our deck plays really well if we can last for the long game. And going for the Shielded Aether Thief and then blocking here means that playing the Rhino next turn lets us draw another card off the Thief and just immediately start going for card advantage. Instead of going for like beef with the Rhino. However, if I top deck a basic, yeah, I was gonna say, if I top deck a basic, I'm just playing the Rebel and we're killing that 3/2. Because that is just gas right there. They gave me a perfect target, so I'm gonna take it. They are 2 mana away from being able to kill our Quicksmith Rebel with their on-board removal, but they could have other removal. Oh no. Well, that's a nightmare. Make a 5/5 haste every turn? Good lord. Okay, we might just die to Nissa. Shoot it for 3 with Puzzle Knot plus Rebel. And I don't do anything else. That is nowhere near lethal to Nissa. I mean, select for inspection on their land is kind of cute. But I'd have to use the prism to do that, so I wouldn't shoot for 2, but I have nothing to shoot for 2 right now. Except Nissa, sort of. Yeah, this is bad. I have no idea what the right line to try to get around this Nissa is. I guess we're trying to set up a board state that can start trading into their lands if they keep attacking with them. And a 3/3 plus shooting it for 2 would do that. So we make a 3/3 Outrider, keep a Servo for chumps, and then if they attack in with a 5/5 again, we block with a 3/3 and shoot it for 2. And we just start ripping their lands away if they're going to keep Nissing them up. Although they could just Emblem Nissa here. And then have infinite card draw, but then they don't have a Nissa anymore at least. So the -6 lets them draw a card every time they play a land. That could definitely be worth it for them here. It makes every draw in their deck good. Every land becomes a cantrip. Okay. They are going to go for that long game card draw. So this is going to be a grindy one then. There's another Seed Sculptor. Basically has to target something other than itself. Yeah, target the Artisan. Next turn they play land 7 and kill the Rebel and we're sad. But I can't save my Rebel. Because I don't have the blue source for select for inspection. And I don't have a way to crew any vehicles to tap my Rebel down. Subtle Strike. Alright. It's fine. Unless they've got the double up to fully kill the Rebel here. That'd be kind of bad. Yeah, it's kind of bad. Not that I could do anything about it regardless. Okay, we need to hit lands real badly, so I think we glimmer towards them to get to this Rishkar's expertise. Well, goodbye, you two. There we go. So I've got the blue source for select for inspection, but I can also cast a pacification array this turn. Like I would rather hold up select for inspection. Alright, I mean, they're going to draw a lot of cards from playing lands, but we're going to draw a bunch of cards just because we have gross rares. So I think it's anyone's game here. We might even be favored with a full grip right now against them just slowly playing the lands and redrawing a hand. Because, yeah, we've got 6 in hand, and I draw 7th off the Aether Thief. Okay, so this way we get them to cash in the solvent, and then we select for inspection response. Or we just eat the 3-4, that'd be fine too. They don't want to do anything. Okay. I'll trade up. Livecraft Cavalry, so that explains that. Got double select for inspection for that bad boy. Alright. So we want to get our Ballista Charger crewed before we cast the Rishkar's Expertise, so we cast the Charger and hold up the blue for the select for inspection. Excuse me, sorry about my chair. We need to get 3 power on board to crew this thing. So playing nice and slow here, but playing for tremendous value. Get my energy and then bounce the cavalry. Find a Malfist Revolutionary. Perfect. Big enough to crew the Charger. Alright. Yeah, the awkward part about bouncing the cavalries is that it does just come back with the counters because I just revolted it back to their hand. So that's a little sad. Let's get the energy to draw another card. And I don't want to play Pacification Array until they've used their Universal Solvent. My issue here is if they use it here, they're going to blow up my Ballista Charger, and I'm going to be sad. Because then I don't have a 6-power creature anymore. I guess I do play Pacification Array. We'd rather they solvent that, I think, because we have Rishkar's Expertise coming up. Well, a lot of lands from our opponent, but that means a lot of card draw, so not the end of the world for them. Don't like that they have the solvent untapped at instant speed for if I try to cast Expertise. Makes me feel like we can't do it yet then. If I attack with Charger and play and sacrifice Puzzle Knot, I can kill their 2-3, I guess. Maybe that's a thing we want to do. Play and sack Puzzle Knot costs 5 mana out of our 7, so I don't do anything else that turn except hold up a select for inspection. For Pacification Array, but that's all I need to do. Sure, we'll do this and see if they blow this up. Which would be sad, but it would mean that the Pacification Array sticks around, so it's whatever. They try to combat trick, I guess we have to bounce our own Charger. Hit for 6, that's something. Okay, That was not a bad turn. They are going to solvent the pacification array, which means Charger sticks around for Rishkar's expertise, and that's maybe the game winner here. Unless they have more instant speed removal, which is definitely possible. They've drawn a lot of cards. Oh, let's get our energy first. I guess this way they tap 5 of their mana, so they have less up, for instance. But they still have so much mana that they could cast instant speed removal easily. Unless they're casting a second spell. They are. Ooh, Vengeful Rebel, kill my Revolutionary, and now I can't crew the Charger anymore? That's bad. It's absolutely bad. Well, I do have the mana. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'm 1 mana off. Ugh. I'm 1 mana off from playing a Rhino, crewing the Charger, and casting the expertise in the same turn. So we're just on double Rhino here. Yeah. That Vengeful Rebel was gross. Alright, we're at the point of just jumping with Aether Thief, I think. Because I can't afford to lose Ballista Charger until after we've cast Expertise. Have I played my Minister this game? No, so that's probably the finisher. Just looking for Minister to mill them out because we've both drawn so many cards that somebody milling out is a definite possible endgame here. Okay, we need to find interaction off of the Rishkar's expertise for this flyer, or we're super dead. Super, super dead. Alright, let's draw some cards, come on. Give me the goodies. Give me the goodies. Land is not a goodie. Another land is not a goodie. What do you gotta say about this Rishkar's expertise? You got the goodies? Land, Glimmer Minister. Okay. We are dead so fast. There it is, Monstrous Onslaught. Don't have the mana to cast it. So I'm dead, right? I mean, I take a hit from Marauder at least, but they have so much other stuff on board. I think I am just dead to the other stuff. I didn't know I had this many lands left. I guess I can draw another card off Aether Thief, but I think I need it as a blocker. I have to block all 3 of these things on the ground to basically not just die. And then next turn I have to crew Charger and then Onslaught. Yeah, I just have to go like chump, chump, chump next turn. That's so bad. And I can't send in Charger here, because if I send in Charger and it dies to their other creatures, I have no way to kill the flyer. Do I even have any left in my deck? I've got like 9 cards left, so I should be able to know exactly what I have. Nope. I've got a flyer, a Thriving Rhino, a Moray, 2 Morays, and a Ridgescale Tusker. Ridgescale Tusker could try to outrace the Marauder for just 1 lethal swing. I still think just Onslaught next turn's our best and only bet, so we have to pass. $15 cards left. Take the 6 in the sky. Fourth Bridge Prowler. Kill our Servo, which is actually important because we need as many creatures as possible for chumps and crewing. So even killing our smallest creatures does matter. A good chunk. I don't need this much energy. I only need like 4 to mill them out. There's another thriving rhino. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can cast both of these for sure. So we do cast both of them. I have to crew the charger. Think I need to do with the minister so that I have better blockers up. Minister plus rhino instead of rhino plus rhino for the crew. I think they kill us on the ground before we can mill them. So much of what we do here has to just be chumping now, I think. I guess if I attack with Ballista Charger and kill the 4th Bridge Prowler, I don't have it up on blocks anymore, and having it up on blocks can threaten them. But they don't have super good blocks. I guess they block with the 4-4 and the 2-3. That actually is pretty good. Yeah, I don't think we do that. Do I have any 2-mana or less spells left in the deck? No. So there's absolutely no point in using Aether Thief until after I block with it. Okay, I mean, I chump block the 4-4 with an 0-3. I put the 2-3s on the 3-2 and the 2-3, and I put the Aether Thief on the 1-1. On board, we have fine blocks, and then we'll have good blocks after everybody's untapped. Uh-oh. Some more creatures. Big menace card. And a servo, yep, go wide. Cavalry for another 4-4 trample. Oh no. We need to hit Ridgescale Tusker. Like exactly. We need the beef. 4 of my 6 cards are spells. It's Tusker, Double Moray, and Hinterland Drake. So we've got live draws. I'm going to draw 2 cards here, because I only need like 3 energy to fully mill them out, so I can spend 3 on this card draw for sure. Oh yes, Ridgescale Tusker. Oh yes. Cast that and pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 good attackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 solid blockers. Now I can crew a charger with a single 3-4 Rhino, which is a big deal. That was loud. Ow, Magic Arena. $12 cards left. Foundry Screecher. Okay. I guess I can crew the charger and kill that now that I have decent blocks without the charger. Okay, that might not be horrific. Oh, I can see the order. So it's Moray, Moray, Drake are my next draws. If I draw another card, though, then I mill before them. So I cannot afford to tap Aether Thief or I mill myself out and die. So yeah, we have to Ballista Charger the Screecher, because I can't wait to draw the next flyer. This probably kills one more of their creatures, because I bet they kill this on blocks. So they can trade one of their smaller creatures up into the bigger charger. Maybe they don't, though. Because they know we're entirely trying to kill them off of mill. The amount of damage they take to their life total doesn't matter. They are going to go for the trade up, though. Trade a 4/4 into the 6/6. Fair. Kill the 4/4 trample over anything else. I guess I could kill the 2/3 and the 0/3 if I want to kill multiple creatures, but I want to kill the scariest attacker. Druid of the Cowl is not a good draw for them. 1/3 this late in the game. And Minister goes Burr. Down to 5 cards. Oh, they had their own Ridge Scale Tusker, and we milled it? That's so lucky. They've got one final draw step. Then I mill them during their end step, and I mill them during our turn. That's the concession from our opponent. They see the writing on the wall. They know we can double mill them. And they didn't draw something to break through this board state. It turns out this deck was secretly just Minister of Inquiry's mill the whole time. Did not expect to do any Minister of Inquiry's milling, but that's 2 games in a row now where that was pivotal to our victory. And we're now 4-0, guaranteed a positive win rate run out of this draft and breaking even in terms of that prize out. Really, really nice run with a pretty weird, pretty interesting deck. See if we can't keep it up heading into game number 5. All right, here we are on the play for game number 5, somehow undefeated so far. And we've got a nice turn 1 Thriving Turtle to just get rolling in with. Maybe I should save the energy for some Minister of Inquiry's mill, though, at this point. All right, turn 1, Attune with Aether from our opponent to help fix their mana and get some energy. And we're going to poke for 1 with our Thriving Turtle and have a really sturdy blocker if we need it. Servant of the Conduit, turn 2 from our opponent, so they can ramp up into some big stuff. There's the Minister I was talking about. This time we're pretty much guaranteed to just cash in the energy immediately, though. Attack with a 2/5. They're down to 17. And now I've got a really, really thick blocker. There's a Weld Fast Monitor that can give itself Menace for a red. But the Thriving Turtle still blocks that all day. It also attacks into it pretty well. At this point, though, I think we're pretty firmly doing great in the long game, so we're going to go on the defensive here. Just waiting to draw our 4th land so we can Glimmer of Genius into the 5th land and just go crazy from there. The Wild Wanderer from our opponents. They've got all the mana they need thanks to Attune with Aether plus Wild Wanderer. And they've got 3 colors, so they've got a splash color if they needed it. Puzzle Knot is not a terrible draw because it's good with the Rebel, but I don't think I'm casting it right now. There's nothing I can actually kill with it. I guess I probably should, because I'm stuck on mana so much that I'm not going to have the extra mana sitting around to toy with it later anyway. Yeah, we just shoot them in the face so that I know I have an artifact on board for whenever I find the red source for Rebel. I don't have to spend any extra mana to get another artifact on board. And it's like turn 5 from our opponent, so the odds of them playing a 1 toughness creature now are pretty low. It's going to be big stuff, such as an Arborback Stomper, which is their first creature that can break through our Thriving Turtle. So Turtle's done some work, giving us some time here, but that Arborback Stomper is going to put an end to that. That's going to be a problem. Oh. Not finding the lands here. It's pretty bad. I guess I could double block the Stomper if they don't have a trick of some kind. But there's the Harness Lightning to just straight up kill the Drake, and we definitely don't double block the Stomper then. Aether Trade Winds is really good here. They get to grab another land out of their deck, and our Thriving Turtle loses all of its counters. Yeah. I mean, if we hit our lands on curve, I think we probably would have had a really well-positioned shot at this game. Probably even favored. But the missed lands are too much. We are astronomically behind after that Aether Trade Wins. There it is, just slightly too late here. 5 from that, trade there. Yeah, at this point we even have to trade the Rebel off to be even close to stable. I think I have to do this while they're tapped out. One combat trick ends this for us, or a burn spell, if I play it like this. But still, if I play it like this, that still kills us. Combat trick or burn spell, because we're still taking 5. We'll be at 5 life, nothing left on board. I think we pray that they have absolutely nothing. And we top deck the bounce spell for the Stomper. That is not absolutely nothing. And that is not the bounce spell for Stomper. They have 2 tramplers. They have 12 combined damage of trample. There's just absolutely no way, because we can't even clear out one of the tramplers. Could play a Ballista Charger and block 1 and shoot the 3. That's still well over lethal. Alright. Dang. Rough one there. Again, I think it was really just mana issues there. Just hitting the land slightly sooner. I think we could have stabilized off the Quicksmith Rebel stuff. Just a little disappointing sequencing of the draws will pull us back down, get our first loss, and we are now 4-1 heading into Game 6. Here we are for Game 6. This is a 2-lander, which has a slight risk to it, but we draw 2 lands, we are on the draw. If we draw 2 lands, we're going to be doing excellent, because the Glimmer of Genius is fine whatever we need. And even if we just draw 1 land, the Thriving Rhino turn 3 is going to be great. Hold us off for a little bit so we can buy some time to get to the 4th. And there we go, there's 1 land, let's go. Thriving Rhino into Double Glimmer could be really, really good if they don't have interaction to clear out the Rhinos. Make sure that we've got a beefy one on board when we cast the Expertise later in the game. Do this for fun. I've got nothing else to do with my mana. Alright, that's the 4th mana. Could be some good stuff. Playing against green-red, which tends to be energy-focused, and yep, Thriving Rhino and a Maulfist Revolutionary. I am just realizing how rough the Thriving mechanic is on the defense. Really just how rough it is on the draw. Because it's all about snowballing with your attacks inward. So when you get on the defensive, it's like, dang, so their Rhino just eats my Rhino and I don't do anything. Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. I think I have to play another Rhino over Glimmer here, but I also have to attack so that this can at least next turn block the 3/3. And at best, so it can keep getting bigger for Rishkar's Expertise. Next turn, maybe we get to hold up a 3-4 against their 3-3. We get to tap down the Rhino and play a Prophetic Prism. Quicksmith Rebel, no artifacts on board is bold. I guess fair enough here. Let's get another 3-4, so these are both big enough to lock down the other creatures. So if they played that, they probably have another removal spell and we're just deader. No? Alright, let's go! It's a solid shot at stabilizing then. Don't have the mana to use Pacification Array if I do anything else, but Shipwreck Moray is enough to block the Rhino. I think I play the Moray. Block the Rhino and get one of these to 4-5 stats. I guess I can double block. That is true, that's annoying. That was a punt. I forgot double blocking exists. Not like a punt, but was not a great attack. Hunt the Weak? That's just as annoying. Actually, that's less annoying. Hunt the Weak would have been even worse for us, technically. I was wrong, I lied. Okay, Rishkar's Expertise for 4 cards and drop an Outrider, but then I'm not holding up Pacification Array. Or I just Glimmer of Genius and hold up Pacification Array. I think I'm just going to Glimmer. Or I could also Outrider. Yeah, I'm going to play a 4-drop and hold up the Array, either way. Let's get another creature big enough to stop the 3-3. In its tracks. Pia Nalar! Not allowed to play bombs. You already played a Quicksmith Rebel. Oh, they actually don't have the energy to buff the Rhino here. I didn't have to tap that. I mean, there was nothing else I was going to tap, so it doesn't matter, but yeah, I just realized they don't have the energy to make the Rhino a 5-6, which is good. That means the Moray actually does matter a lot. Hinterland Drake, technically a flyer, but it can't block the Thopter. I'm gonna have to just stun the Thopter every turn now. Yeah, we Pacification Array the Thopter every turn. So array the Thopter, cast a Glimmer. I'm gonna cast a Glimmer right now and see if I can find land 7, because if we make it to 8, we get to play Expertise and still use the array. So we're kind of trying to make it to 8. Okay, I mean, I'll keep one of these for sure. I guess these just kill the Thopter. Maybe I keep both, actually. Sure. I'm gonna be suspicious that I don't Pacification Array, but maybe I can just pretend that I forgot. Yeah, that was a quick enough click. They could just be like, oh, they forgot. That's solid. I know I said I was gonna like scry and Glimmer into lands, and I'm just sitting here like, nah, I'll just never cast the Expertise. It's kind of fine if we don't. We can control the game with everything else we have. Can play the Drake and the Aether Thief and the Select for Inspection. Do that. Like, as long as we get stable, our just controlling late game has been so good. I feel pretty stable. So Pillar Bug can get buffed up to 5 power. It's gonna trade into like anything. I guess I can put the Moray there and make them dump all of their mana into this and then bounce it. Also. Or I can also just take the trade and that's fine. I guess if I was just going to bounce it, I should have also blocked with the Aether Thief to get another energy out of this. Let's take the trade and save the select in case they get another flyer. Something really bad. If they combat trick here, that's not going to be fun for them. Okay. 1 mana from the expertise while holding up Array. So I can Glimmer holding up Array and Inspection. I don't want to draw 2 more lands, so I'll get rid of those just in case I hit more. See, look, it was the correct scry. Pacification Array of 4/5. Yeah, we attack now. Keeping this energy, I should probably just cash it in on 1 piece of card draw, but I figure I have so much card draw coming next turn anyway with expertise. Probably fine to keep it. It's going to be the +1/+3 spell, and then we're going to select for inspection. So I put the Aether Thief there as well to get an energy out of this before they do their trick thing. Oh, it's a hexproof trick. Same difference. Scry into a Moray, that's fine, I've already got the lands I need. I guess recasting Revolutionary gives them another energy or another counter on the Rhino, which is cute. Okay, let's draw 4 and cast a free Moray. There's the Minister. I don't think I'm killing them with Minister, though. I think I'm just sending in Drake and locking down their best attacker every turn until they die. No, that's not happening anymore, because that says goodbye to my Pacification Array. So I guess we get to kill P and Nalar. They're at a low enough life total. Kind of forced into blocking here, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If they don't block, they die. But they do have a solid block doing that. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think we do go for the trade, though. Just so this thing can't crack back at us, because it'd be really bad if it could. That's 7 damage they're threatening on board. Close to finding some way to kill us with combat tricks. Bunch of energy, the Rhino gets even bigger. But they can't afford to attack without dying, and Quicksmith Rebel mega kills them. Let's go. Fantastic draw. Just a little ping to the face with a rebel, and we are now 5-1 in the money with this deck as we head into game number 7. Absolutely blowing my mind that this deck has a better record than the last deck we drafted, that blue-red deck with all the self-assemblers and Aether Swoopers and everything. Got that endgame Rishkar's expertise again. Let's do this thing. We are on the draw to help get the lands we need to get up this mana curve. So I'll keep the 2-lander with a pacification array and a select for inspection to slow our opponent down and buy us some time. Alright, opponent starts with Forest and a Tune with Aether. Grabbing a mountain. What the what? They have Jurassic Park mountains, but not forests? My life is confusion. You can only get all of the Jurassic Park lands in one bundle all together. So I don't know how they'd have one and not the other. But I guess you can actively choose to have favorite lands from different sets and run Brothers War Forests and Jurassic Park mountains, but it's weird. Alright, nothing turn 2. Well, we drew into a Minister, so I guess we're playing that. Getting some energy out here. Electrostatic Pummeler can double up its power for 3 energy, so if they have a bunch of combat tricks, they could blow me up real quick. But the double select for inspection looks really nice here. We do miss our land drops, though. We have failed our first 3 draw steps looking for that land. Kujar's Seed Sculptor to buff the Pummeler. I think I just let it send in and then we select it if they buff it, and if they don't buff it, we just take 2. Alright. Missed for a turn, but we found the 3rd land now, which allows us to use the pacification array and still hold up a select for inspection, which feels a lot better. Feels very nice. I think we're playing this out real slow. Just keeping this array mana up, because this card can be really explosive. Thriving Rhino is actually scarier for us, I think. Take 2 again. Okay, now I can play a Rhino and hold up select. Things are getting bad. They have the hexproof trick, we're like super mega extra dead. But as long as they don't have that one, select is going to go very far for us. Yeah, 10 damage is not good. 20 damage is even worse. Oh, I was going to say do it again. Do it for 40. Because it's cool. Do they have the hexproof trick? Feels like they wouldn't wait this long if they did. Unless they just want to slow roll it for value. Just be like, yeah, look at that. Pyre Helix the minute? That's already dead. Okay. Alright, that's already dead to combat. Weird flex, but okay. Bounce the pummeler, get our scry. Scry this away. Find a Pima Outrider. Solid pickup. A 4/4 to block their potential 3/4 attacker. But I think I'm going to get the servo, because I can still block a 3/4 thriving rhino with a 3/3 and a 1/1 to kill it. But now I also have a better target for my Quicksmith Rebel than my Pacification Array. Having a servo become my machine gunner is definitely better. Now they have a Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot to go with the pummelers. They have 9 energy towards this thing, which even without a combat trick means it goes to 2, 4, 8 power. Alright, that's bad. So we just keep using Pacification Array on it then. Also means I can't attack into it, or they just spend all the energy on blocks if they want. So we pass the turn, we Pacification Array the pummeler over and over again, and we have blockers up for the rhino. Yeah, just sit here, take it nice and long like we have been before. Just sitting on our butt till we get to Rishkar's expertise, or till we get the red source for Rebel, and take over the game from there. They've only got 1 card left in their hand, and they didn't use the energy on the rhino, so it just like has to be a combat trick here, which we then ruin with select. Nope. They might have just misclicked on that attack, and they're just over it. We've got card advantage on them with 5 cards left in hand. We've got a good enough board state to just kill the rhino on this attack without a trick in their hand. And that's just enough for them. They have seen enough, and we are now 6-1, potentially getting a 7 win with this deck if we can just win 1 more battle. We're heading into that final boss with 2 rounds in the chamber. Okay, here we are on the play for what may be the final battle with an excellent hand, multiple options for what to use to burn things away with Quicksmith Rebel. And the Prophetic Prism makes sure we have the mana to cast the Rebel. So I'm really liking this start. We even got the Ballista Charger. If we draw into some select for inspections, we could even save the Quicksmith Rebel from removal again, tapping it to crew the Charger. If nothing else, we'll just keep crewing the Charger with it anyway, just to beat down with a 6/6. So I am liking this curve. The Hinterland Drake definitely doesn't fit into the curve, because we want to play another artifact turn 3 so that I can Rebel up the Puzzle Knot instead of the Prism. But I suppose if the Prism helps me cast the Rebel, then it's already served its purpose. I don't need the Prism to cast blue or green spells. I've got double green, I've got double blue. So yeah, I guess we actually do get to play Hinterland Drake on curve, and then we use Rebel on Prism. But if I use Rebel on Prism, it's going to be on a tapped Prism, and I don't shoot the turn that I play the Rebel. Yeah, that's a little sad, but I think still worth it to play the Hinterland Drake, because without a combat trick from our opponent, it does stop the Aether Swooper from sending in. That works. Saves the Swooper from trading here, and we just bounce off each other so they get a servo. But now they've got a servo for us to kill with the puzzle knot, so maybe we do that. Puzzle knot the servo, and then I have the puzzle knot at the ready for the rebel, instead of using the rebel on a tapped artifact. That seems good. I'll bounce off for blocks again instead of poking for 2. Reserve our life total and buy us some time. Malphus Revolutionary. Well, so much for that. Now we just select for inspection the swooper anyway to get rid of all its +1/+1 counters. But that means they get to replay it and get another servo, but we still don't want to deal with a 3/4 flyer. I do like that Glimmer of Genius. That's a good card. Okay, so we can't protect our own Quicksmith Rebel. It is what it is. Do I play it and ping a 1/2 on the ground? Doesn't feel incredible. I think it's fine to just play Ballista Charger and crew that and send it in next turn. The only thing the Drake's blocking on board is a 1/2, so I think it's better to poke for 2. So we'll send the Drake in. Wild Wanderer. Ramp around for whatever basic land they want. Grab a red source, I think? I mean, that's their splash color regardless. Okay. Well, there you go. I like this sequencing. Top decking the select for inspection for the Quicksmith Rebel. Feels good. Yeah, this board is just nuts. We have so many random onboard tricks, it could be easy to forget them. Okay, they're just trumping. That's fair. If they went for the double block there, we get to shoot the 3/2 and eat both of their creatures without losing the charger, because our puzzle knot can shoot things for 2 damage thanks to Quicksmith Rebel. What a top deck, though. The select for inspection to protect the Rebel. So spicy. There's the monstrous onslaught. Hold up. I need to use this before I do this. But then we do that. I'll keep a Shipwreck Moray for later. There's the concession from our opponent. They are completely over it, and that is 7-1 with this nonsense pile of weird little synergies stacking up. The Quicksmith Rebel Ballista Charger select for inspection combo coming in hot like 3 of our games to bounce our own Rebel because we crewed a Charger with it. What a silly draft. This was weird. I think this was like the other end of the spectrum of variance, where I do genuinely feel like our deck last time around was significantly better than this on average. I think there's a lot of flaws with this deck. It's pretty weird. But we high rolled, we drew very well, and we found some really cute lines to stay in a lot of these games. We got mill victories with Minister. We got Quicksmith Rebel victories and protected it by crewing a Charger and bouncing it with Select for inspection. We stabilized really hard with a Ridge Scale Tusker to have huge blockers. Literally everything in the deck just like popped off at like the right time in the right games. Just really good luck all around finding the right cards in the right places. The Rish card's expertise constantly when we have 4 power creatures on the board to dig real deep. One time even with the Ballista Charger. Yeah, just a really nice, really lucky draft all around. I don't know what else to say. I don't think I drafted super well. I played pretty well, I think. I think that made up for it a little bit. But I also don't think I drafted terribly. You know, we just went for some fun stuff, some goofy stuff in the draft, like some splashes around, some dirtlier energy combo stuff, and it just all worked together. We got great draws, some great luck, and that'll do it. We're just thriving. We're thriving like the thriving rhino, thriving like the turtles. All in all, just thriving today. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video and you're interested in seeing more like it, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.